What's going on, guys? I've got another quick one for you today. In this video, I'm going to take you along and show you the process of having my ECU flashed. If you're watching this video, then you've probably already seen the thumbnail and know that I went with a flash from Vcyclenut.com. David at Vcyclenut has probably done more flashes on the 09 series than anyone. He makes this already great bike even better. I'll show you how to remove the ECU, how to reinstall it, and how to perform the Airbox mod. At the end, I'll get on the bike and give you my first ride honest reactions, and spoiler alert, it's really good. For this upgrade, all you're going to need is a 4mm Allen wrench, a small screwdriver, something to cut the intake snorkel with if you decide to do the Airbox mod, such as a hacksaw or Dremel tool. And then if you have a 2017 or newer model, you're going to need something to clear the check engine code that's going to come on once the ECU is flashed. Once you clear this code, it will not come back, but you will need a scan tool. You will also need an adapter to hook into the Yamaha diagnostic harness to go with that tool. Now, if you don't want to purchase a tool or don't have one already, you can take it to your local dealer or a motorcycle mechanic, and they can probably clear that for you for little to no money at all. I've also got another coupon code to share with you if you want to do the same to your bike. All you need to do when you order your flash at Vcyclenut.com is put in coupon code MOTOSOUTH and get a $20 discount. Now let's get started. First, remove the seat. Next, remove this cover. There's going to be 4 plastic pins, 2 here at the top and 2 on the front. To release those, press in the center of the pin. To remove this panel, remove the 2 side covers. You have 1 Allen bolt and you have 2 more of those push pins on the inside. Snap right off. There's 1 grommet on the inside of here that holds it in there once you remove the 3 fasteners. So next we need to remove the fuel tank. We have 4 bolts holding that on. There's 2 right here at the bottom and then 1 on each side of the tank. Take a couple of rags and put them underneath the tank. This kind of gives you a little extra insurance so that you don't scratch anything up. You do the same thing on both sides. I'm going to take a small block of wood just to put underneath here to elevate it so that I can get underneath it easily. That is the electrical plug, that's the fuel line, and these 2 gray hoses are the 2 vent hoses that we need to remove. You may get a little bit of fuel come out also when you undo these lines. If this is the first time that you've pulled them off, they can be a little stubborn, but basically they just pull right off. Now the electrical connector has a small tab to press in. Now we'll need a little flathead screwdriver to release the mechanism on the fuel line. And next we can remove the fuel tank. Just be careful not to knock the handlebars when you do so. Just pull it straight up, slide it back. Now these 2 protectors on the front of the tank, they just come right off when you remove the tank. Removing the ECU is extremely easy. Lift up these 2 plastic tabs and slide it back, pulling the wires out of this little guide. And there's 2 tabs on the bottom side of each harness. Just press those in and unplug the harness. You can slide out the ECU. Now it is out and it's ready to be sent off. All right, so one thing that I'm going to do before I reinstall the ECU is I'm going to remove this airbox lid and I'm going to cut the snorkel down. This is an airbox modification that is recommended by Vcyclenut, and what it does is it helps increase airflow to the air filter, and it will actually provide a small performance increase as well. So we'll go ahead and remove the 10 screws. Now we can remove the cover, and basically we'll take this intake snorkel tube and we're going to cut it down to the height of the top of the air filter. There's a small ridge on this intake snorkel, I guess from a molding process that Yamaha uses. I'm going to use that as my guideline. I'm going to cut it off right at that line. I don't know if that's going to show up on camera, but you should be able to see it on yours. Okay, now you can cut this with anything, a Dremel tool. I'm going to use a hacksaw. Even a regular carpenter saw would probably cut it just fine. But again, just use that little line as a reference. Once we have everything cleaned up, we can reinstall our airbox lid and put the screws back in. Okay, and lastly, as part of the airbox modification, it's recommended that you cut out kind of a U shape onto the front of this panel, which again increases the availability of air to the air filter. I'm not going to do that today because I need to prepare some sort of a screen to put on it. I'm in South Louisiana and we have tons of mud daubers that get into the garage and they love to find small holes and things to build nests in. So without a screen to put over mine, I'm not going to cut that today. So for now, I'm just going to leave that stock. So at this point, I can slide the ECU back into here and plug in the 2 wire harness connectors. Just be careful when plugging them in, not to damage any of the pins on the inside. We can now reinstall our fuel tank, set up a couple of towels just to keep it from scratching the frame. You could also use painter's tape or something like that on there if that's easier for you. All right, so now that everything is hooked back up, we want to cycle the key off and on twice. This helps to reprime your fuel pump. And then we can start the bike. Okay, so now we need to just clear this check engine light. If you have a 2015 or 16, I don't believe this happens, but on the 2017 and newer, up to the current models, when you do the ECU flash, it will give you this code. Once you clear it, it won't come back again, at least for this reason. That's what we need to do next. Hook our cable into our reader and then attach it. We attach it to the adapter, and that's going to plug into the Yamaha harness. You see the reader's going to come on, and now we can turn on the key and we can read the code. Okay, now I'm just going to go down to erase codes, and are you sure? I'm going to click yes, and I'll click yes again, and that's it. Just wait for it to finish. Okay, and it says it's done, so now we can turn off the key. All right, and we can unhook our tool. All right, now let me just show you. Well, now when I turn on the key, the check engine light is now gone. So we're ready to ride this thing and try it out. Okay, so let's go see what this Vcyclenut flash is all about. If you've been around the FZ-09 or the MT-09 community for a while, then you've probably heard about. Okay, so the popping on the decel is definitely greatly reduced. The throttle immediately feels a lot smoother. Didn't really get a full throttle run right there, so I can't testify to the overall power, but it definitely 100% feels smoother. Just the on and off transitions are nowhere near as jerky as they were. That's fantastic. Yeah, like I said, if you've been around this FZ or MT-09 community for any period of time, then you've most definitely heard about Vcyclenut and the ECU flashes that he does. It was the first one that came to mind for me because of all the good reviews and positive things I've heard about it. Alright, so let's wait for this Jeep to pass by and we'll go back on this back road here. Definitely feel the difference. It's so smooth. Combine this flash with the exhaust and the quick shifter, it is so smooth. Oh man, this is perfect. I love the sound and the feel of a motorcycle when it's tuned just right. This feels great. So I do have a coupon code for you guys. If you're interested in doing it, you can go to Vcyclenut.com, put in coupon code MOTOSOUTH and get $20 off. Roll-on power just feels better. There's no more jerkiness. I don't know what kind of magic he's putting into these things. This is legitimately the first time I've ridden the bike with this flash. So everything I'm telling you is what I'm experiencing for the first time. Might switch it into B mode when I get to this light, and we'll give it a little try on B mode. It should be even smoother. God, this is smooth. Even the blipping on the downshift, hardly any popping. I think I will probably add the AIS block off plates because I did notice a little bit of a pop when I was hard throttle and let off on it. So some of you guys like the flames and like the popping, so that's fine. You can let him know that. The best way to do it, if you don't understand everything on his list when you order your flash, is just to let him know what kind of riding you do and what modifications you made to the bike and anything in particular that you're looking for. When he sends it back with a list of all the modifications that he made to it. So it let me know that what the rev limiter was set at. He let me know that he disabled the AIS. Now it's still on the bike, you don't have to remove it. He also removed the speed limiter and made the fan come on quicker, improved some things with the ignition timing for the throttle maps, which gives it that super smooth response. I don't remember everything, but it does come with a list to let you know exactly what was done. And then one of the great things is if you put this on your bike and you're like, nope, I don't like this part of it, then he will set it back right. You just have to send it back to him and he will make those adjustments. Now turnaround time, I sent it off on a Thursday and I got it back the following Thursday. Normally I think it's a little bit quicker, but there was a Memorial Day weekend, so there was a weekend and a holiday, you know, a postal holiday in between all of that. So as a matter of fact, I sent it off on Thursday. He didn't receive it, I think, till Tuesday. And Tuesday morning, I kid you not, I got an email saying that it was coming back to me. So it was already flashed and back in the mail, coming back to me, if he did in fact receive it the day that my tracking showed he was supposed to. So that's pretty incredible. He's got this bike dialed in. He's done so many of them, and I don't know why anybody would want to get their ECU flashed by anyone else on this bike. To me, it's a no-brainer. So Vcyclenut.com, coupon code MOTOSOUTH, get $20 off. Get one for yourself and see what all the hype was about. Yeah, you can hear it. See how when I downshift, I don't know if you can pick that up, but there's a little bit of popping when on the deceleration like that. So that's to be expected because the AIS, even though it is disabled, the system is still attached to the bike, so some air is allowed in there. Some air is allowed in there, and that's what's causing that. A little bit of a pop right there that you hear, but it's nothing like it was. Myself, I'm not a big fan of it. So smooth. Yeah, this is B mode now, so let me go back to A mode. Of course, someone has to pull out. And the quick shifters feel smoother now too. As you can see, the check engine light is still clear, just like he said. Once you clear it, you can take it to the dealer and have it cleared. They may charge you for that, they may not, or maybe a local motorcycle mechanic. But if you don't have one of the scan tools, they are not very expensive. You can get them from Vcyclenut's website. You can also get them from you know, AutoZone or Harbor Freight or any of those places for not a lot of money. It's a good tool to have. They can check engine codes on your car, and it's of course good to have for your motorcycle. Really simple, guys, really simple. The Airbox mod, like I said, I did 50% of the Airbox mod. I did cut the snorkel down. I can't really tell you how much that's affected it because it's done at the same time, but it's just easy once you have the tank off to just do it while you're there. I will cut the front panel piece as soon as I figure out how and what I want to use to kind of screen that off. Some sort of stainless screen or something that I can rivet on there just to keep the mud daubers and stuff out of it from my garage. If anybody has any suggestions, leave them down in the comments for me, and I'd be happy to take a look at it. Yeah, just some slight popping right now because of the lack of the block-off plates, but that's okay. I'm gonna get those, I might put those on order when I get home. One thing to remember is that you do have an exhaust on your bike. It does not need to have a flash. You're not doing any damage to your bike by not flashing it, but you're not taking full advantage of the benefits that you get from putting that exhaust on or any modifications that you make intake wise. So I highly recommend getting a flash, and I recommend getting the Vcyclenut flash. Man, this is awesome. If you got any use out of this, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thanks to everyone who's watched the videos to this point. We've just crossed over 900,000 views, so the 1 million mark is coming up pretty soon. So please hit that thumbs up button if you like this video. If you got any questions, comments, suggestions, leave them down in the comment section below. I should be back real soon with another one. Until then, stay safe and ride safe.